Joseph and Potiphar's wife. So when Joseph was taken to Egypt, Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian man, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. But the Lord was with Joseph, and he became a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that whatever he did, the Lord made it prosper in his hand. So Joseph found favor in his eyes, and served him, and he made him steward of his house and gave into his power all that he had. And it came to pass, when he gave him charge of his house and of all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house because of Joseph, and the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had, both at home and in the field. And he left everything he had in Joseph's hand, and with him he did not worry about anything except the bread he ate. And it was Joseph with a beautiful countenance and beautiful presence. And it came to pass after this, that his master's wife looked upon Joseph, and said, "Sleep with me." And he would not, and said to his master's wife, "Behold, my Lord does not care with me about what is in the house, and has put all that he has into my hand. There is no one greater than me in this house, and he has reserved nothing for me except for you, because you are his wife. How then would I do this great evil, and sin against God?" She spoke to Joseph every day, and he did not listen to her to lie down next to her, to be with her. One day he entered the house to do his work, and there was no one from the house there. And she took him by his clothes, saying, "Sleep with me." Then he left his clothes in her hands, and fled and went out. When she saw that he had left her clothes in her hands and had fled outside, he called those from the house and spoke to them, saying, "Look, he has brought us a Hebrew to make fun of us. He came to me to sleep with me, and I cried loudly. And seeing that I raised my voice and shouted, he left his clothes next to me, and fled and went out." And she laid Joseph's clothes next to her, until her master came to her house. Then she spoke the same words to him, saying, "The Hebrew servant whom you brought to us came to me to dishonor me. And when I raised my voice and cried out, he left his clothes beside me and fled outside." And it came to pass, when Joseph's master heard the words that his wife spoke to him, saying, "This is how your servant has treated me," that his anger was kindled. And his master took Joseph, and put him in prison, where the king's prisoners were, and he was there in prison. But the Lord was with Joseph and extended mercy to him, and gave him favor in the eyes of the prisoner. And the head of the prison handed over to Joseph the care of all the prisoners that were in that prison. Everything that was done there, he did. The head of the prison did not need to attend to any of the things that were in Joseph's care, because the Lord was with Joseph, and what he did, the Lord prospered.